The talks are just beginning, and our hopes are high. At the beginning of my trip, I met with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders. I was impressed by their commitment to move forward, and by supporting the legitimate aspirations of both sides. We will encourage reconciliation between the Israeli and Palestinian people. Foster reconciliation between Israelis and Arabs. And build a foundation for lasting peace that will contribute to the security of every state in the Gulf. And as you build a Middle East growing in peace and prosperity, the United States will be your partner. As we have done in places from Asia to Europe. We have forged new relationships with friends and allies designed to help you protect your people and your borders. As we have done in places from Asia to Europe, we're helping you bring your economies into the global market. And as we have done in places from Asia to Europe, we have launched programs designed to help you promote economic reform and educational opportunity and political participation. The United States has no desire for territory. We seek our shared security in your liberty. We believe that stability can only come through a free and just Middle East where the extremists are. Marginalized by millions of moms and dads who want the same opportunities for their children that we have for ours. So today I would like to speak directly to the people of the Middle East. To the Palestinian people, the dignity and sovereignty that is your right is within your reach. In President Abbas, you have a leader who understands that the path forward is through peaceful negotiations. Help him as he makes the tough decisions for peace. Oppose the extremists and terrorists who represent the greatest threat to a Palestinian state. The United States will help you build the institutions of democracy. And prosperity and make your dreams of a state come true. To the people of Israel, you know that peace and reconciliation. With your neighbors is the best path to long-term security. We believe that peace is possible, though it requires tough decisions. The United States will always stand with Israel in the face of terrorism. And we will support you as you work to ensure the security of your people and bring peace and reconciliation to the Holy Land. To the people of Iraq, you have made your choice for democracy. And you have stood firm in face of terrible acts of murder. The terrorists and extremists cannot prevail. They are tormented by the sight of an old man voting. Or a young girl going to school because they know a successful democracy is a mortal threat to their ambitions. The United States is fighting side by side with Sunni and Shia and Kurd to root. Out the terrorists and extremists. We have dealt them serious blows. The United States will continue to support you as you build the institutions of a free society. And together we'll defeat our common enemies. To the people of Iran, you are rich in culture and talent. You have a right to live under a government that listens to your wishes. Respects your talents, and allows you to build better lives for your families. Unfortunately, your government denies you these opportunities. And threatens the peace and stability of your neighbors. So we call on the regime in Tehran to heed your will, and to make itself accountable to you. The day will come when the people of Iran have a government that embraces liberty and justice. And Iran joins the community of free nations. And when that good day comes, you will have no better friend than the United States of America. To the leaders across the Middle East who are fighting the extremists, the United States will stand with you as you confront the terrorists and radicals. We urge you to join us in committing the resources to help. The Palestinians build the institutions of a free society. Help the citizens of Lebanon preserve their government and their sovereignty in the face of outside pressure from their neighbors. Show the Iraqis that you support them in their effort to build a more hopeful nation. And as you do these things, the best way to defeat the extremists in your midst is by opening your societies. And trusting in your people, and giving them a voice in their nation. And finally, to the people of the Middle East, we hear your cries for justice. We share your desire for a free and prosperous future. And as you struggle to find your voice and make your way in this world, the United States will stand with you. For most of the world, there's no greater symbol of America than the Statue of Liberty. It was designed by a man who traveled widely in this part of the world and who had originally envisioned his woman bearing a torch as standing over the Suez Canal. Ultimately, of course, it was erected in New York Harbor. Where it has been an inspiration to generations of immigrants. One of these immigrants was a poet-writer named Amin Rihani. Gazing at her lamp held high, he wondered whether her sister might be erected in the lands of his Arab forefathers. Here is how he put it: when will you turn your face toward the east, O liberty? My friends, a future of liberty stands before you. It is your right. It is your dream. And it is your destiny. George W. Bush. Address at the dedication of the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Delivered September 24, 2016, National Mall, Washington, D. C. Laura has been very much engaged in this museum for a long time. She sits on the board. And we're honored to be here. My first reaction is I hope all our fellow citizens come and look at this place. It is fabulous. Mr. President and First Lady, Vice President, Chief Justice, David Scorton. Thank you very much, the board. I do want to give a shout out to Lonnie Bunch. It's really important to understand this project would not and could not have happened without his drive. His energy, and his optimism. Now, as Laura mentioned 15 years ago, members from both parties, Congressman John Lewis and Sam Brownback, Then Senator from Kansas informed me that they were about to introduce legislation. Creating a new museum to share the stories and celebrate the achievements of African Americans. You know, it would be fair to say that the Congress and I did not always see eye to eye, if you know what I mean, Mr. President. But this is one issue where we strongly agreed. I was honored to sign the Bill H.R. 3442 authorizing the construction of this national treasure. And I'm pleased it now stands where it has always belonged, on the National Mall. This museum is an important addition to our country for many reasons. Here are three. First, it shows our commitment to truth. A great nation does not hide its history. It faces its flaws and corrects them. This museum tells the truth that a country founded on the promise of liberty held millions in chains. That the price of our union was America's original sin. From the beginning, some spoke to truth. John Adams, who called slavery an evil of colossal magnitude. Their voices were not heeded, and often not heard. But they were always known to a power greater than any on earth. One who loves his children and meant them to be free. Second, this museum shows America's capacity to change. For centuries, slavery and segregation seemed permanent parts of our national life. But not to Nat Turner or Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, or Martin Luther King Jr. All answered cruelty with courage and hope. In a society governed by the people, no wrong lasts forever. After struggle and sacrifice, the American people, acting through the most democratic of means, amended the Constitution that originally treated slaves as 3/5 of a person, to guarantee equal protection of the laws. After a decade of struggle, Civil Rights Acts and Voting Rights Acts were finally enacted. Even today, the journey toward justice is still not complete. But this museum will inspire us to go farther and get there faster. And finally, the museum showcases the talent of some of our finest Americans. The galleries celebrate not only African American equality, but African American greatness. I can't help but note that audience applause. I cannot help but note that a huge influence in my teenage years is honored here. The great Chuck Berry, or my baseball idol growing up in far west Texas, the great Willie Mays. And of course, something I never really mastered. The ability to give a good speech, but Thurgood Marshall sure could. And some of you may know I'm a fledgling painter, a struggling artist. I have a new appreciation for the artists. Whose brilliant works are displayed here, people like Robert Duncanson, Henry Ossawa Tanner, Charles Henry Alston. Our country is better and more vibrant because of their contributions and the contributions of millions of African Americans. No telling of American history is neither complete nor accurate without acknowledging them.